This week's episode of the Mudshow Dirt Sheet brought to you by 2022. Still doing this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mudshow Dirt Sheet first episode on TBS, with the lead-in probably not being the accountant this time.
We looked, it was the Big Bang Theory.
And there's nothing Tim likes more than just network TV sitcoms. They are just so silly.
Isn't that the truth? Love Sheldon.
That's right.
The rest of them.
That's right. The other guy with the glasses.
Yep, the one who isn't Sheldon, I think.
Yep, and then the girl, Coco something.
Sure, absolutely. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
We are back. I don't want to spoil anything, but we missed exactly 14 days of recording. No reason at all. But we are here now. We're here to tell you about God's favorite wrestling program, AEW Dynamite. Wrestling is back on the mothership.
My God, are we just on the superstation,
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember watching Mama's Family on TBS. I remember watching Golden Girls on TBS way back in the day.
R.I.P.
I remember watching Thunder back in the day on TBS. That was a WCW program.
Yeah.
And now we are
Tuesday
back.
Thunder? Thursday Thunder?
Thursday Night Thunder, I think. Maybe it was Tuesday.
And
yeah,
we are back.
We
are back with a bang. We're going to get into this card a little bit, but let's tell you a little bit about the program. We open every show with a little bit of fantasy booking, tell you how we do it, wins, losses, storylines, angles, turns, double turns, crosses, double crosses. All of the stuff about wrestling that doesn't really matter.
And I'd like to tell you something. I predicted a time limit draw on the last card that we did it, just in the wrong match.
And you did. And you for sure did, too.
And, so I just want to let you know, we are pretty good at that part, but that part does not matter to us. What matters to us is what matters to everybody, and that is ratings.
Ratings and demographics, and we are going in fucking blind as hell for this one because we had no idea what kind of number we're going to do on TBS.
Did everybody switch their DVRs over? We're going back on the West Coast to regular time, meaning that the numbers should be slightly better.
You got to check your DVRs, folks.
Yeah, we did.
All 14 of you that listen to this program, of the, I don't know, maybe 5 of 14 of you that actually watch Dynamite, check your DVRs.
And that don't watch it at my house, because we already checked it.
Right. Right. Our house is good. This house is clean.
Our house in the middle of the street. Our house.
You know what I hate about that song?
Mostly everything.
Yeah, but all houses are in the middle of a street, It's like your house isn't that special.
No. Their house for sure is not special.
For sure not that special. But every week, the loser of the rating and demographic prediction has to do a punishment. And this week, I think I've got a good one.
Sure.
Now, it requires a little bit of gentlemanly, honesty.
Sure.
But this week's podcast punishment, the winner gets to auto-replace text one phrase in the loser's phone, and it just stays until they figure it out.
Ooh. Brutal.
Not so bad. We're not going to do anything really harmful, but...
Yeah. And you have to promise to not do anything racist.
I promise not to do anything racist.
Perfect.
You have to promise not to do anything racist.
Okay. I promise to not do anything racist. So
perfect.
Good. Good. It'd be unfortunate,
But that's not the kind of humor we strive for on this program.
Nope. Yeah, we're going to get into this card. This card is huge. It's
stacked.
You got 3 titles on the line this week, and then a possibly big match with a couple of up-and-comers in the AEW program of Malachi Black and Brian Pillman Jr.
Well, let's just hop right into that, huh? Because there's nothing I like more than talking about Malachi Black. I didn't like that they turned the lights on too early last week on Dynamite. That wasn't very good at all.
Yep.
And it's like, just leave the lights off a little longer,
Just almost the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, like you could go darkened crowd for his whole matches, I think, and just kind of have it spotlight over the
just
over
little
the ring.
flashes. Maybe you could do flashes of red lights, and he could wear like a clown mask but stretched out.
Sure.
Because
Wouldn't
of
that
what a
be good?
fiend mark you are.
Wouldn't that be good?
Because of what a fiend mark you are. I have a bold prediction that isn't actually that bold. I think we are seeing the debut of AEW's newest talent, Brody King, this week.
Yeah, he only posted that on his Instagram that you'd see the King in January. So, yeah, might as well put it on the first show of TBS. What a bold prediction, Tim.
Like, I wanted to come in here with some hot takes for this week's
Only had a
episode.
full vignette at that guy's house about it. So, yeah, bold prediction that this guy thinks Brody King's going to debut and that next week we'll probably get a Varsity Blondes versus Brody King and Malachi Black match. And boy, does that do something for us.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time, because I like Griff Garrison a lot. I like Brian Pillman Jr. fine. Boy, do I like those big beefy boys with all those tattoos and that dark hair and the spooky music. I like all of that stuff very much good.
For those of you who don't know Brody King, he is basically like a more tattooed, younger version of the Butcher.
Oh,
And yeah, he is a good wrestler.
Yep. And he's friends with Malachi Black already. They tag in, I think,
PWG champions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And probably soon to be AEW tag champions because why wouldn't you, Why wouldn't you poke gold around that beautiful boy Malachi Black's waist?
And you got Proud and Powerful in the wings for the next tag team champions.
I mean, that's very true, too. Man, this tag division is fucking stacked, huh? And I know they say that about AEW literally anytime someone talks about it, but the evidence is just piling up.
Maybe we need to split into 2 shows and have 2 sets of tag team belts.
I like that.
Pop.
I like that. Do you think they could be colored based on the colors of the branding
The Rampage
of the show?
ones are different, and then the other ones are different too.
Sure. I mean, the Bucks already posted the picture of the TNT tag titles, which I thought was very funny.
Yep.
That was like, what, November 2020?
Yep.
Glad we got around to talking about it now, 15 months later.
I think that you probably have at least one more member of the House of Black coming, and maybe that's your trio's titles first, because I'm assuming that at some point Tony Khan's going to give us the fucking trios belt, because all we ever see is trios matches on fucking TV now. I think last week's Dynamite didn't have a single one-on-one match. It was just all
trios and trios and more
and
trios.
8-man and 10-mans and everything like that. Just get us some fucking belts for these guys to come out with if we're going to watch trios matches all the time.
Yeah, and if you're going to just call them trios matches instead of a 6-man tag, like, okay, but we'll take some trios belts that you can put on.
Can't have it, Griffin.
No, that was me.
Can't have it.
That was me. I apologize.
My God, that's
apologize.
embarrassing, I bet, isn't it? Fucking
profoundly embarrassed. I am profoundly
Can't have
embarrassed.
it. We were just in a groove and going, and then you just ruined it.
My fault.
You ruined it.
My fault. This... I don't know if you're on Twitter anymore, Ryan. I don't see.
I do some tweeting every once in a while.
Did you see that video of Brian Pillman Jr. doing the kickboxing training? And his kickboxing trainer tried to do the Malachi Black kick, and Brian Pillman Jr. ducked it.
Oh,
I think that's a little foreshadowing for when Malachi Black does the Malachi Black kick, and Brian Pillman Jr. doesn't duck it at all.
Oh, he just gets murdered by it.
Yeah.
I did not see that, but I saw somebody making fun of it on Twitter, so I knew that it happened. It was why would you learn exactly what the other guy's good at to try to do that against him when you're not good at that?
Yeah, you know who said that? Who? Malachi Black, not character. Just Malachi Black was like, you don't even deserve the creepy shit, Brian Pillman Jr. I'm just going to treat you like the dumb, stupid, idiot babyface you are.
He shouldn't even do the entrance. He should just literally just walk out, lights on, and just walk out like that fucking
Big
Vince meme.
Arms.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Man,
that would be good. But yeah,
fun.
I think this for sure ends with Malachi Black kicking his stupid head off, and then Brody King probably coming out and just
beating up Griff Garrison
ripping him limb from limb like Goro.
Yeah, Brody King is like, what if a silverback gorilla was really into My Chemical Romance in 2006 and got a lot of tattoos?
I don't know if we mentioned it on the last show because I can't remember what we talked about, but we saw Julia Hart at that synagogue show, and she still had the mist on her arm, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you did a pretty good impression of her, but then you forgot how to do it, which makes me sad. So I'm not going to
Nice.
ask you to do it again.
I certainly don't remember. Short-term memory loss, but that was like 2 weeks ago, so.
Not even that short term. Let's move on. Finals of the TBS Women's Title Tournament.
Yep,
Thunder Rosa, not Thunder Rosa. God,
You wish it was, though.
God, don't you just
You
wish it was?
because I would watch Thunder Rosa versus Ruby Soho for hours.
Yeah, but instead we're going to watch Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho for what's going to feel like hours.
Yep.
Because, man, if Thunder Rosa can't drag a good match out of Jade Cargill, it's like, who can?
That's the thing. I remember watching that match last week and just didn't get into it. And that's the first time that I can say that about a Thunder Rosa match since she debuted. You know, like it was just could not get into it. And it's, you know, you just hope you do the right thing here. And it needs to be Ruby Soho needs to hold that belt.
Yeah, I agree with you, but like for a lot of reasons, I have this foreboding sense of dread that it's just not going to happen that way. And I hope to be proven wrong. God, do I hope to be proven wrong. But doesn't it just feel like we're going to have to watch Jade Cargill defend this belt for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, something like that?
So I'm going two ways here. One, I think that you need to put prestige on this belt. And it's kind of the same way you did the TNT belt by putting Cody in command of that. And then he just, you know, took on all comers, put on good matches with, you know, Ricky Starks, Warhorse and people of that sorts during a real tough time for AEW at the beginning of the pandemic. You could do something like that with Ruby Soho here, but I think looking back at things that have happened this week.
No spoilers on things that have happened this week.
I think that maybe you put it on Jade and you let her go a little bit, but it's just hard. I think Thunder Rosa is now probably your next women's champion, your women's world champion.
Looks clearer and clearer.
And I just think that having Thunder Rosa and Ruby Soho as your two champions right there, I think that's something big. You know, I think that those are two great women stars that can carry your franchise, and I just don't think Jade's ready yet. I think that you could put Jade in a position to maybe get a visual pinfall or something like that after some cheating with knocking the ref out. Maybe she hits her finisher and you get even almost a 10 count, you know, where the crowd's counting it out how many times she had Ruby pinned, and then Ruby comes back and maybe steals one with a roll-up or something like that. But
yeah, man, Ruby is for sure the better wrestler, and that's not close. But I was just thinking about how far Jade Cargill has gotten herself off of the 11, 12 matches she's had, not just at AEW, but at all.
Lifetime.
She is going to be very good one day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bummer that it hasn't happened quicker and that she has been put in this position. But, man, you know, Jade Cargill is just so
visually stunning.
Yeah, physically impressive, visually stunning, and you totally understand wanting to have her on TV as much as possible. It's just not the right time to have her in this role.
I think the thing about Jade is it proves that no matter how physically gifted you are, wrestling takes a minute. You know, you're seeing even people like Anna Jade, and these people that were signed real quickly during the pandemic era of AEW, who didn't have the match catalog that these other folks did. You're seeing the separation of the two as the competition gets higher. You know, you're seeing that these ladies need a little bit more work. You know, Tay Conti's kind of right in the middle of that. You know,
yep.
And I think that in order to push the brand forward, you need to have the women who are the best wrestlers, especially if you're only getting one match a week, which it looks like, I guess we're going to stick with that, is one match a week on TV. You got to have that be Ruby. You know, you just, the matches that you could see Ruby put on against Riho, you know, I'd watch her against Nyla again, Serena Deeb, Sheeta, things of that. You could just give her, you know, and maybe Jade's your next one. You know, maybe Jade's your next one, and 2 months. You know, like this belt is clearly going to be used like the TNT belt, where
move around a little bit.
You have somebody hold it who needs it at the time. And I don't think Jade necessarily needs it now, especially if you have Mercedes Martinez, and you could have her kind of, you know, you could have Mercedes Martinez maybe even fuck up the match or something like that. You could have them two wrestle later on and things of that sort. It will be Jade's time sometime. I just think maybe that's like 7, 8, 9 months from now.
Yeah, and you hope that's true for her sake too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You pull the trigger on it when she's ready and not when it feels like you have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have Ruby Soho winning here, and that's me just hoping for the best wrestling for the TBS Women's Championship possible.
Mm-hmm. And if you give it to Jade, I'll support that too. You know, it's just I don't want to see squash matches every week.
Right.
You know,
can I say one thing in favor of Jade being TBS Women's Champion?
Big old fucking woodpecker on the tree.
Nice, love that.
But yeah.
Would get to see Smart Mark Sterling a lot more on TV, and we know how much you love that.
It's true. It's true. It's the best, one of the best names in wrestling.
Very good gimmick, very good name. Makes me watch Ethan Page's toy hunting vlog. I'm going to turn into a degenerate toy collector.
Nice. I just love Ethan Page.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think we've said enough about the TBS Women's Title Tournament. Let's move on to the tag title match. We have the Lucha Brothers versus Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus.
Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, little tweeners right now.
Isn't that interesting?
Christian Cage kind of having them be a little bit heely.
Yeah, it kind of seems like they're going to pull the trigger on maybe like a little Jungle Boy Christian Cage feud in the near future.
Yeah.
Have Christian Cage turn heel. Have Jungle Boy stay the beautiful, sweet baby face he is. Okay, you're laughing, but tell me I'm wrong, though.
I mean, Jungle Boy is a face. Look at him. You know, he has a face. He is a face.
Imagine booing that guy. Be tough.
I mean, I couldn't.
I couldn't.
You
I
know
mean,
that.
you can't even boo MJF, and he wants you to.
Have you watched MJF lately? Blame me for that too. That's fine. I don't give a fuck, man.
You should
MJF
just
has
move
been
to Long Island.
incredible. Yeah, I will go to an AEW event in Long Island so that I can cheer him for sure, especially after last time. Not a fucking joke. I'm for sure going to do that.
Yeah, that was very fun, but it's not what we're talking about.
Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, there's nobody on the tag roster that I would like to see hold these titles less right now than these two. I mean, there are some people, but nobody near the top of the card.
And that's an
includes the
unpopular
Acclaim.
opinion, because watching that 10-man tag last week, God, every time somebody who wasn't Luchasaurus got in that ring, the whole fucking stadium was chanting Luchasaurus' name. And I get it, because we were too, but like, really watch, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
open your eyes a little bit, you fucking marks.
Yeah. Did you not see the other 9 men in that ring? Like, why are you cheering that one? You know, the guy who goes for the double choke slam every time.
Yeah, and
Never gets it.
Now he sometimes hits it with the reverse goozle, and he throws him onto the bridge. That's been a good addition. And he did that shooting star press at the Target Center that one time, and that was fucking crazy. But I fucking hear you, man. And I don't think there are 2 men in the world that love the Lucha Brothers as much as you and I do. And I think even we can admit this run has been
Stagnant.
not great. Not great.
It
And
seems booking and not them. It's like, how many times are you going to book them against FTR?
yep.
Over and over again, and then just like not have it be FTR versus the Lucha Brothers. Like, they haven't wrestled anybody else since before they even had the titles.
Yep, and every time they wrestle FTR, there's some weird finish, you know? Not the legal man,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Feet on the ropes, whatever. They're just not allowing these guys to decisively beat anybody. I think this is a great place to do it.
Yep.
Because there is no need to put tag titles on Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Nope.
You have plenty of stuff for Jungle Boy to do with a Christian Cage feud, with getting into the TNT title picture scene. You can do stuff with those guys.
Yeah.
What you don't need to do is have this match look like janky finish, not decisive win for the Lucha Brothers, which is exactly what they need as champions right now, is to stack up decisive wins against good teams.
Yeah, I think you just start burying the roster with the Lucha Brothers right now. You just, take them all out until you get to probably double or nothing against Proud and Powerful to, possibly end the reign and let them have the break that they've deserved because they've been going fucking hard since the beginning of AEW, and I am as big of a Penta and Rey Fenix mark as you will ever find, and it has been just, since September that, we haven't seen them win a match cleanly, and it's just unfortunate at this point.
You know what I was thinking might be good?
What's up?
What if the Lucha Brothers turned heel? You remember how good they were as heels?
Yeah.
You remember?
I like that.
I go back and watch the video of Phoenix super kicking Aubrey to break up a pinfall, and I think about, could you imagine if they just did that in AEW? Could you imagine the heat?
That brings up another point. What happened to Aubrey? She isn't reffing any of the big matches anymore, and she was your main ref. Paul Turner's been doing all of the big matches lately.
He is the head of officiating, and she is, developing a video game. She's probably got some stuff going on.
You think that's what's going? Because she's still reffing matches on the card, just none of the world titles or anything like that.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Okay. I think that the Lucha Brothers retain here.
Yeah, no need to do anything foolish.
And if you do, I need an explanation.
I feel I'm owed one at this point.
Exactly. It was the tag team I was waiting for has the titles, and then you've just made me disinterested in them.
Just rip them away from me so I have to watch more Luchasaurus matches.
Yep. But yeah, I hope that, I hope Penta does all of the fun things. I know we'll get a couple of nice sling blades. We'll get Rey Fenix running the ropes. But what I'm really hoping to see is the package pile driver with the stomp on the ass, and then Rey Fenix hits the rope on the right side, does the super fast tope through the left side to probably take out both Christian Cage and most likely Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus takes the pin. Because I would love to see Luchasaurus up in that package pile driver position.
Yeah, that would be very good. And, get Jungle Boy doing something else, because he's too good to be working with Luchasaurus, and there I said
he's a fucking old-ass dinosaur. Get him out of here.
65 million years old, and Jungle Boy is so handsome.
Just such a young boy.
So handsome, so young.
Young boy.
Young, sweet
beautiful boy. And that brings us to the granddaddy of them all, which opened the show last time at Winter's
Bryan Danielson 2. Boy, was that first one good.
I've watched it 4 times, including once yesterday. Boy, nothing to say about that but how good it was. Bryan Danielson skinning the cat at 59 minutes is possibly the most cool thing that I've seen in an entire wrestling match. Just the stamina of that guy is unreal. And yeah, you go either way on this one.
Couldn't you just totally justify doing it at this point?
I think Hangman's title reign after a 60-minute draw, or title reign after a 60-minute draw against Danielson was good enough that you could drop it tomorrow and I'd be like, he was a good champion.
He did a good job.
He was a good champion.
He did a good job. You remember that match he had with Bryan Danielson?
You remember the title defense that he had? That was good.
That was good, that 60-minute draw. Wow.
Yeah. When he hit the dead eye, I popped hard. Again, every time he hits the dead eye, I pop hard.
It's a really good-looking move, and you want to hear something crazy?
Sure.
You want to hear me say something crazy?
Sure.
What if you just did another draw, and then they took it to the judges, and it was still a fucking draw, and these two just kept fighting each other for months?
These guys are the actual Chicken and Peter Griffin, unlike Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida, like I thought. I cannot say enough good things about that match last time, and all we're going to see is another good match this time. I think you're going to see Hangman push the tempo a little bit on this one and try to just really get out fast. I think he, the storytelling of the first one was the frustration of how long it took them to get going from Hangman. And I think this one will be Hangman dictates the pace, knowing that he doesn't want it to go to a draw, doesn't want it to go to the judges. He wants to finish the match, and I think Danielson will oblige because he also wants the same.
Yeah.
But, maybe you see Hangman doing something of like when he goes in the ropes to try to stop an attack or something, he pulls the Okada, slaps him real hard on the back or something like that, tries to just really piss Danielson off and get him to a point where Danielson loses his cool instead of Hangman losing his cool.
Yep. The first story was, a story of a guy not taking Hangman very seriously. Mm-hmm. Jumping jacks, the fake yes chant into the fingers, and that was all very brilliant.
Yep.
I think what you do here is you just make it appear that Bryan Danielson is taking Hangman so seriously that he begins to make mistakes.
Yep.
And I am picturing something long. I'm sure it'll do half hour plus because, do you put as much of this as you can on
open
your
with
television
it again,
program?
then?
Why not, Why not just curtain jerk the AEW title with these two every time?
We also don't know what TBS's commercial schedule is. If they could maybe go commercial free for the last half hour.
Wouldn't that be something?
Something of that sort. Throw in an extra picture-in-picture break during, any of the other matches. And try to get this one, as much as possible into the viewer's eyes. I think this could be a match where you grab the TBS viewer and you can just lock them in. I remember watching
by the back of the head and scream, "Look at it!
Yep,
look at it!"
I remember the first one, and you just couldn't take your eyes off of it because it was just a spectacle. Even the picture-in-pictures, even all that stuff, it was just like, holy shit, And I think you do need to do a better job of having Justin Roberts call out times during matches that aren't going to a time limit draw, because it seems the only time we ever hear a time call is when it goes to a time limit draw. But I think we need to do New Japan style every 10 minutes, give out a time call, because otherwise we're going to start. And honestly, maybe they do. I just don't pay attention enough to it. But
they do not, and it is a well criticized part of AEW, and deservedly so. Who do you think the judges are going to be? I think last time they rolled out like Dean Malenko, Muda, and was it Tully or something like that?
I don't remember.
And just do Dean Malenko and the great Muda and Jerry Lynn.
Probably Davey Boy Crockett, the one who was there presenting Cody with the TNT title. What town are we in?
You're at 1707.
Oh no! How the mighty have fallen from their position
that was
of
my
judgment.
fucking watch, trying to tell my fucking address into the goddamn microphone.
Trying to dox you. Oh, can't have any of the 14 people who listen to this show knowing where you live. They all already do.
Yeah. I wish I knew what town this was in.
I think it's in Atlantic City, New Jersey, but I'm not 100% on that, but I feel like that's right.
Because I think AEW does a good job of putting people from the area to pop
Oh,
the
so
area.
you think it'll be Enzo?
Soft.
Wrestling mind Enzo.
Soft.
And then they put the guy who cut the promo on Enzo on the other side doing judging too.
Big Cass is 7 feet tall.
You can't teach that.
Well, I'm trying to see if on this website it says where it is.
I think I'm going to be so
This
proud
is
of
good
myself.
podcasting.
This is good podcasting.
Very good podcasting.
I mean, it's always good podcasting when we're doing it.
It's true.
You don't believe me that it's Atlantic City, New Jersey?
I for sure believe you. January, nope.
January 5th.
January 5th. All right. Okay. January 5th is at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey.
Well, I was close.
You were close. You did say New Jersey, and everything's legal in New Jersey.
Everything's legal in New Jersey.
Let's see.
I do have Hangman to retain here, for sure.
For sure, Hangman retained. I have no idea who the judges are going to be, but you're going to pop for sure. You're going to get somebody to pop here. I hope you get like a New Japan guy. like an older guy, but you got Wrestle Kingdom Night 2 going on tonight, so they're all probably participating in that fucking 95-minute shitty battle royale with 80,000 fucking dudes in it.
And it's like, respectfully, who gives a shit?
I know you
'Cause,
wanted Makabe to be here, but...
God, you know I'm a big Toby Makabe guy. Love him as much as Arn Anderson loves Haruki Gudo.
But, I mean, I think you got enough people on staff that you could just put,
3 legends.
you could do Arn, Tully, and Dean Malenko.
Could do Dean Malenko, Mark Henry, and...
Mark Henry's a good one.
Yeah. I saw a picture of Mark Henry's kid. You'll never guess this. Big.
Yeah, he plays football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mark Henry just being a proud dad, giving him a hug. Mm-hmm. That's nice.
It's the best.
It's the best.
Mark Henry's the best.
He's really good.
He's very good.
Glad they got him off commentary. It's not where he was thriving, but...
He did it on, I think on one of the episodes of Dark I watched the other day, they did it. So, it's been watching a lot.
Watch that Jake Atlas match. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw Jake Atlas at WrestlePalooza last year, right before he went to the E. Maybe 2 years ago before he went to the E. Had to have been 2 years ago, right before shutdown. Boy, is he fun to watch.
Yeah. Shout out WrestlePalooza this Sunday.
Yeah, would love to see a Jake Atlas there.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Roster pretty light announced so far for
Pretty thin.
WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
So I don't even think they've announced Dante yet.
Especially for a 2-day card, Hopefully Eric Canning gives us a couple prizes.
Aramis is going to be there again, and he
was
good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think whatever his brother's name is, so maybe you'll get we've only been saying it for the year and a half apparently on a ACL tear, but Dante and Darius versus Aramis and his brother, Aramis.
Porthos and the other 3 Musketeer. Mm-hmm. Griffin, put the other 3 Musketeer name in there. Is that what
the Three Amigos.
Different.
Great movie, though. Yeah, I have Hangman retaining as well. We were talking about the judges, and I think I nailed them. Good podcasting.
Good podcasting.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the time goes? How long do you think it goes?
35. Something like that. I think that Hangman is going to find a 5th gear somewhere in here and really turn it on for
28.
What's that?
28.
That's too short. That's not long enough.
We've watched the guys wrestle for 60 minutes now.
I need more. I mean, you get why I need more.
It's true, but Danielson's about to head to Japan, so...
God, you hope that's true. All right, let's move on to the...
Okada said he wanted to wrestle Punk and Danielson.
I saw that. And sooner rather than later, I believe, was the headline.
Just fucking... Oh, Griffey's standing.
Oh, Griffin's telling us to wrap it up.
I'm so sore.
Let's move on to the least educated number in demo we've ever done.
Mm-hmm. You get to go first, too.
I do get to go first. 0.38. 0.38, yeah.
Did a .37 last week.
Thank you, Griffin.
I'm going to say under.
I get it.
I'm going to just put the mark at 1 million. Just exactly 1 million is the mark.
It's gonna be 1.01.
It's a good number. I like that number. They're back on tape delay on the West Coast, which is good for the number.
Yeah.
It's a debut of sorts. You're doing more Hangman Danielson. I'll take the over. I'll take the over. Why not?
I like it. I mean, man, you gave an hour to them the first time, and you watched just the fucking number go like this the whole time. Yeah, I could see it easily doing like a 1.1, something like that, with a .38.
You imagine it just does like 4 million.
Ugh.
just does 97 raw numbers.
Podcast gets 100 listeners just out of nowhere. Ooh, what happened?
To this one?
You guys should check out our other stuff.
Check out the back catalog. Oh, we thank you for tuning in for this episode. We really thank you for sticking through to this point to
that was
this
fine.
episode. Give us a follow on Twitter. Twitter podcast is at Dirt Sheet Pod. I'm on Twitter at Text Mahogany. Ryan's on Twitter at the GGRP, all caps.
Matters.
Big shout out to executive producer, sound editor, audio mixer,
Visual engineer.
director. Griffin, you want any more titles? Handsome guy, absolutely handsome guy.
Lauren's Bow.
Lauren's Bow. Shout out friend of the show, Lauren. She branded him with a necklace. We love that. Find Griffin on Instagram at Griffin Mern and on Twitter at Sugarless Pho. On Telegram at Q1776Q Great Awakening _Q. Did I get that one right, Griffin?
Yep.
Shout out to the server at Pho99, who's never going to see us again after seeing us 3 times last week, and he's going to wonder where the fuck we've been, where we are.
Thanks to Dom for the music, our incredible podcast music, week in, week out, the best part of the show. Mm-hmm. Follow his bands on Instagram at WasteBandMN and at Ringer is Loud. His personal Instagram is Dominic_Yadrich.
With a J.
Yadrich with a J. That's the best I've ever done on the fucking thank yous. And, you know, on this episode, nobody's going to get to them. But we appreciate you nonetheless. Please join us next week for more Smart Wrestling Takes by Dumb Wrestling Marks.
Nailed it.